Does stepping out into the chilly weather really make you prone to catch a cold? It's a belief ingrained in us since childhood. As the temperature drops, you might hear echoes of your mother's voice. Bundle up or you'll get sick. Or perhaps it's a friend's warning, don't forget your hat, you don't want to catch a cold. These age-old sayings have become a part of our collective consciousness. But is there any truth to this widespread belief? It's not just here. People everywhere bundle up during winter fearing the worst, falling sick. That's right. From the frosty terrains of Siberia to the snowy landscapes of Canada, the fear of cold weather bringing on sickness is a global phenomenon. It's a belief that transcends borders, cultures, and climates. But before we start blaming the thermometer for our sniffles and sneezes, let's pause for a moment. What does science have to say about this? As per scientific understanding, colds are caused by viruses, not the weather. You might be wondering how that's possible, especially when you've always heard that stepping out into the cold without a jacket is a surefire way to catch a cold. Well, let's delve into the science of sickness. First off, let's clarify what a cold is. A common cold is a viral infection of your nose and throat. It's usually harmless, although it might not feel that way. More than 200 viruses can cause a common cold, but the rhinovirus is the most common culprit. Now here's where it gets interesting. Viruses, like the rhinovirus, love the cold. They can survive and reproduce more easily in cooler temperatures. But it's not just the cold that helps these viruses thrive. The dry air during winter also dries out our nasal passages, making it easier for viruses to invade. But, and here's the crucial part, cold air itself does not make you sick. You have to come into contact with the virus to catch a cold. This usually happens when an infected person sneezes, coughs, or talks, releasing tiny droplets into the air. You can also catch a cold by touching a surface with the virus on it, and then touching your mouth, nose, or eyes. So, why do we get sick more often in winter? Well, during the colder months, we tend to stay indoors more often and in closer proximity to others. This makes it easier for viruses to spread from person to person. It's not the cold air itself, but our behavior in response to the cold that increases our chances of catching a cold. Therefore, it's not the chill in the air that you need to worry about, but the germy surfaces and close quarters. So the next time you're about to step out into the cold, don't worry too much about bundling up to avoid a cold. Just make sure you're keeping your hands clean and staying away from anyone who's already sick. So it's not the cold air that makes you sick, but something else. In reality, it's the close quarters and less ventilation during cold weather that increases the chances of virus spread. It's a common scenario. As the chill sets in, we retreat indoors, swapping wide, airy spaces for the cozy confines of our homes. But have you ever thought about what this means for the invisible world of microbes we carry with us? Let's take a journey into the microscopic realm. As we huddle together for warmth, we unwittingly create the perfect stage for viruses to thrive. The air is stagnant, the circulation limited. Every cough, every sneeze, every breath sends millions of potential invaders into the shared space. And with nowhere to go, they linger in the air, waiting for their chance to strike. Now, let's imagine this scenario in a warmer season. The windows are open, the air is flowing. Those same microbes that were trapped indoors now have an escape route, diluted by the fresh air from outside. The chances of catching a virus decrease significantly, but it's not just about ventilation. In the colder months, we're less likely to be active, spending more time snuggled up with a book or a movie than out and about. This sedentary lifestyle can lead to a weakened immune system, leaving us more susceptible to those pesky viruses. So, it's not the cold itself that makes us sick, but rather the conditions we create when it's cold outside. The confined spaces, the lack of fresh air, the reduced activity, these are the real culprits behind the winter sniffles. But don't despair. Just because it's cold outside doesn't mean we're doomed to a season of sickness. By understanding the true cause of winter illnesses, we can take steps to protect ourselves and those around us. So, how can we stay healthy during cold weather? Instead of fearing the cold, we need to focus on maintaining good health. You see, the cold weather doesn't bring the sniffles, it's our habits that do. So let's replace some of those habits with healthier ones. First, let's talk about hand hygiene. It's simple, yet incredibly effective. Regular hand washing, especially before meals and after coming in from the cold, can keep those pesky viruses at bay. If water and soap aren't handy, a good squeeze of hand sanitizer will do the trick. Next, let's talk diet. Cold weather shouldn't mean giving up on fresh fruits and veggies. In fact, they're your best friends during the winter months. Foods rich in vitamins, especially vitamin C, can give your immune system a much-needed boost, so keep your plate colorful and your body will thank you. And let's not forget about exercise. Yes, it's tempting to curl up with a good book or binge-watch your favorite show when it's cold outside. But staying active is crucial for maintaining a healthy immune system. Whether it's a brisk walk, a yoga session, or a snowball fight, find your winter-friendly activity and stick to it. Lastly, make sure you get enough sleep. Your body needs to recharge, especially during the winter months when it's working extra hard to stay warm. Remember, the key to staying healthy is not just staying warm, but staying informed. So, as our friendly doctor says, it's not the frosty air that gives us the sniffles, but the viruses thriving in close contact settings. Winter invites us indoors, in close quarters with less ventilation, increasing our chances of catching a cold. Instead of bundling up to ward off illness, focus on maintaining good hygiene and a healthy lifestyle. Remember, it's not the weather but the viruses. Stay informed, stay healthy, and enjoy the weather.